I'm Tad Flaky,
I'm Lilibet Flaky.
and this is Pointless Global News. On today's show, a man is beaten up by a grocery store staff for trying to steal a car and then has the nerve to sue the grocery store.
Next, an Idaho man breaks the record for wet sponge hits to the face.
And then we'll wrap things up with corn chips that taste like 9-volt batteries and an orca that needs some hands-on attention. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. More on that later. But first, a man who claims that he was beaten up after trying to steal a car at a Winnipeg, Canada grocery store is now suing the staff, alleging that he was left with skull fractures and now suffers from permanent hearing and vision impairment. Michael Prince, age 36, is seeking an unspecified amount of damages against Dino's Food Mart, according to a statement of claim that was filed in Manitoba's Court of King's Bench on August the 12th. Prince said that while attending Dino's on February 24th back in 2024, he stole a jacket which contained a wallet and a vehicle key fob. He then went home before returning about 30 minutes later to steal the vehicle associated with the key fob outside the grocery store. The lawsuit says that Prince, described as an unemployed laborer, entered the car, which was boxed in by other vehicles, and triggered the alarm. Prince says that he was pulled out of the vehicle by Dino's employees who punched, kicked, and hit him repeatedly. The suit also claims that he suffered blows to the head with a hammer that caused him to bleed. The lawsuit says that Prince had no memory of fleeing the scene until he found himself running about a block away from the scene, eventually returning to his home. Shortly after he arrived at his home, a number of the assailants arrived at his home by following the trail of blood that Prince had left in the snow, but he had no further interaction with them. The court filing says that Prince's brother called 911 after he arrived home. He was transported to the Health Sciences Center for 24 hours, and after being released, the suit says he was arrested and detained in custody and then later charged by the Winnipeg police. He was eventually transferred to the Headingley Correctional Center, and after about a month in the provincial prison, police took his statement on the incident, according to the lawsuit. Prince said the excessive and egregious assault has left him with multiple injuries and ongoing impairments, including a concussion, vertigo, nerve damage, post-traumatic stress disorder, and brain swelling. The lawsuit says Prince is unable to gain employment due to the injuries. Of course, this does beg the question, why didn't this pathetic loser consider the possibility of getting a can of Canadian whoop-ass before deciding it was a great idea to steal a car at the grocery store in the first place?
Criminals don't always have the best judgment, do they?
No, they don't, but this one kind of went over the watermark for most.
Okay. An Idaho man took 96 hits to the face with wet sponges in a single minute, recapturing an unusual Guinness World Records title in the process. David "Record Breaker" Rush and frequent collaborator Jonathan "Hollywood" Hannon previously held the record for the most wet sponges thrown in 1 minute with a total of 92, but they were later beaten by another team who managed 93. The record requires the sponges thrown by one participant, in this case Hannon, to strike the second participant, Rush, in the face. The real challenge? I need my eyes open to track the sponge and make that micro adjustment, but shut a split second before the scratchy side smacks me in the eyeball. Then, as soon as the water washes off, I've got to open them immediately to locate the next sponge. It's a nonstop cycle of precision timing. The duo managed to recapture the title with 96 wet sponge hits to Rush's face. Rush, who personally holds more than 181 Guinness World Record titles, said the latest achievement marked his 47th jointly held record with Hannon. I'm trying to figure out, what are they talking about? Like car wash sponges, sea sponges, little kitchen sponges?
Kind of like what you'd wash a car with, yeah.
And how do you throw that many of them in a minute? That's the part I don't understand.
Training, my friend, training.
Okay.
It sounds like something the Three Stooges might have attempted.
It sure does.
Anyway, moving on to our next story here. A UK snack company launched corn chips this summer that taste like licking a 9-volt battery. Apparently, this was a fad back in the 90s, getting an electric tingle by licking a battery. Rewind now offers a snackable way to revisit one of the 90s weirdest shared experiences. No batteries required, the company said. A spokesperson said the chips deliver a very hard hitting, acidic zing to the tongue, followed up by some salty metallic notes. Oh, and by the way, we do not recommend or condone licking, biting, or otherwise ingesting real batteries, the company clarified. For now, the chips are only available in Dutch retail outlets.
This takes me back to a memory when I was a young girl. I don't know, maybe I was 11 or 12, and my younger sister, who's 3 years younger than me, told me to put my tongue on a battery. You think I would have known better?
You
But
should have.
I didn't. And I did. And of course, I got that little zap from the battery, but it wasn't intentional. I just really didn't think I could feel anything from a battery. Duh.
Life lessons are often unpleasant.
And I was supposedly a smart girl.
You were. Just not at that moment, I guess.
I guess not. Finally, Marineland Antibes in France has closed, but 2 of its orcas are waiting for a decision on their new home. In the meantime, Wiki, 24, and her son, Keijo, 11, are being cared for by their trainers. And by cared for, we mean extra loving attention. Managers at the facility are defending their decision to have trainers manually sexually stimulate Keijo once a month to relieve his tension and prevent him from inbreeding with his mother. Although spectacular, this is natural and totally painless for the animals, they say. However, activist groups are condemning the practice, calling it perverse, and I have no comments on this.
No comments?
None.
None at all. Well,
None at all.
all I can say is lucky Keijo. Talk about waxing the orca. And that's going to be a wrap for another Pointless Global News. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Tad Flaky.
I'm Lilibet Flaky.
Stay pointless, my friend.